Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to the channel. Okay. The last video I made like 2 days ago was things I don't give a shit about, and I thought it was only fair if I did a list of things I did give a shit about you. I thought it was only fair if I did things that I did give a shit about because I want to be positive too, not just negative. Anyways, here's a list of things that I absolutely love. Unlike the other video had to really think hard and long of like some things I wanted to talk smack about. Why is he looking at me like that? But I honestly really just want to talk from my heart right now, so I don't have a list. I'm just gonna go as I please. What are some things I give a shit about? One thing I do give a shit about is people and their purpose. So crazy, but I truly believe that there is a purpose for absolutely every single person in this world, and that the pure meaning and the pure reason why I think this is, oh my god, do you guys like my robe, by the way? Isn't it so cute? I freaking love it. It makes me really upset when I see people who don't know what their purpose is or don't believe that there is a purpose to life or being alive or to them, because I really do give a shit about it. Like, I really do give a shit about it. I do. The mere fact that every single person is completely different. There's not one person the same as the other. I have two brothers and I am worlds away from both of them. Came from the same family, came from the same parent, completely different. That in itself tells me a million stories. Like, the whole nature versus nurture thing, your environment and the way, you know, where you were born at what time and your genetics and your environment contribute to who you are. But you're gonna sit here and tell me that me and my brothers are completely different from each other. There is a reason and a responsibility for being alive, and I feel like the reason why so many of us are lost is because we believe that there's no purpose for us, or that we're like not important. And that unfortunately I do give a shit about that, because I literally want every single person to see their potential and use it. Thanks. Yes, I do give a shit about that, actually. Yes, I do. Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, the second thing I give a shit about. I actually love this, and I don't know where I'd be or what I'd do without it. And the second thing I give a shit about is literally romanticizing absolutely everything in your life. Literally everything in your life. Literally everything in your life. Like, I'm gonna put on some lotion, I'm gonna romanticize it. I guess you can also say like the journey. I fall in love with the journey of things, and I do believe that's why I'm successful, because lots of people get caught up in like the overall goal and what they're doing. Like, for example, right, you want to work out to look a certain way or become stronger, and until you see or hit your threshold, basically people postpone their happiness, and I think that is such a foolish thing to do. For example, I will not be happy until I am 120 pounds. Somebody's goal out there somewhere in the world, and they, you know, kind of huff and puff and get to the gym and they do their things, and then they step on the scale at the end of their session and they haven't seen any progress in 2 weeks, and for that reason alone they are unhappy. Like, I can't deal with that. Like, the whole purpose of going to a place isn't just going to the place. It's sitting on that plane and talking to the people next to you. It's sitting on that plane and experiencing and looking out the window. It's not just losing the weight or gaining the weight. It's going to the gym and knowing that you're able to actually go and achieve your goals every single day. That is what's beautiful. I'm not happy when I hit 4 million followers on TikTok. I'm happy because every single day I get to post videos and talk and do the things that I want to do. I love romanticizing life, and because of that, life romanticizes me. Because I love life, life loves me, okay? And before you're saying, oh, it's really easy for you, it's really easy when you're A, B, and C, it's funny when people say that, because you do not know the pits of hell I've been through. And that's another thing, I think, the reason why I am the way I am. I experienced so much bullshit, so much loss, so much like horrible things at such a young age, that now when an issue pops up, it is not an issue. And I'm low-key kind of blessed for that. And I know that sounds crazy, but again, it's me being optimistic. Like, when I lost my mom and like when my family got sick and like all this like horrible shit happened to me, right? Now when somebody doesn't snap me back, do you think I'm tripping? Do you think I'm look at my face. Isn't treating me right. Do you think I give a shit? Life didn't treat me right first, so what do you think I'm gonna do when somebody else doesn't treat me right? I'm gonna leave with grace. The next thing I give a shit about, I really do give a shit about this, and I literally, one of my public speeches was about this topic. He said, I need you to do a convincing public speech to try to convince people, and my public speech was to talk to one new person every single day. I care about people, engagement, and talking to people, connections. I think it is the most important thing in the entire world. It's also because I'm religious, and you know, you're supposed to love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's just the way that like Jesus loved people so much, and just seeing how he behaved around other people, and like our whole goal and purpose in this life is, one, to have our purpose and find and use it, and the second thing is to love other people. And I feel like if you do those two things, even if you're not religious, and that's why I'm Christian, because I feel like it is the most beneficial for everyday like use. Like, you will literally transform as a person if you morally are connected to the Bible. I feel like it just, even if you don't believe, like, it does make you a better person, because you're just interacting and loving people, not in the way it was before you get, oh my God, before people get, okay, because I'm gonna tweak out. Lots of time people like kind of push religion away because of the people who like condemn other people and treat other people like shit just because they read the Bible. Like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. How are you gonna tell somebody that when they don't even believe in the book that you're reading? Like, bro, don't even. I think it's so important to talk to people. There was studies shown that when people give to other people, there are chemicals in their brains that are released that are almost unachievable when doing anything else. We are the happiest when we do things for other people, when we talk to strangers, when we meet new people. Every single time I'm in line, at the cashier, out and about talking, I am always, doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the gender, does not matter. Whoever is there is going to get talked to whether they like it or not. There's been a few cases where people are just like, oh, okay, bye. And that's fine. I respect that. I just let them do their thing. But for the most part, like the other day I was at Target, this one girl was picking up a book that I was reading. I absolutely love that book. She kept picking it up, putting it down, looking at the back, picking it up, putting it down, looking at the back, picking it up, putting it down. I literally got up from the other aisle, walked to her, and I said, are you thinking of getting that book? And she's like, yes. And I was like, you should absolutely do it. It's an amazing book. And then she's like, really? And we sat down in conversation. That same day when I was checking out the book that I bought, the lady in front of me was like, you can go ahead and get in front of me. And I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah, go ahead. She was like an older lady. She was so cute. She was like, and then that was it, right? It could have just ended there, like accepting her favor and just, you know, moving along with my day. But as I was waiting for my book to get scanned, I turned around and I was like, how was your Christmas? And she looked so confused. She was like, she like took off her mask and she was like, it was really fun actually. And then she told me that, you know, she was just happy to be back at home, and how she has a lovely wife, and how her and her wife have like 5 cats. And she was like telling me about like, if I ever wanted to get a cat, to make sure to get 2 cats. And it was just like, it doesn't matter where we're from, different backgrounds, what we believe in, like we are all people and we're all here to like talk to each other. And it just makes me so sad that like what like the government and what these higher ups have done is they've given us so much so many things, gadgets, distractions to get us away from being connected, and they disconnect all of us. And then it's their, I personally think it's like the way the world works, because if we were all to work together, we would be able to fight for things that we would all truly stand for as humans. But since they divide us by our race, our ethnicity, our class, what we believe in, our political views, they're able to kind of separate us and make sure that we're always in a state of confliction with each other, and we're never able to be productive and get things done and fight for what we really believe. Because if they can put different senses of belief into everyone, then we can never stand together. So I truly give a shit about talking to new people, no matter where they come from, who they are, just small conversations, just talk to people. We are all human, and we all need to talk to each other and love each other and learn from each other. Because who are we if we don't learn from other people? We are just ourselves. I think the best people are walking versions of everyone that they have ever met. That is something I truly give a shit about. Thank you. Thanks. Another thing I truly give a shit about is, I don't want to say putting yourself first, because like I think the best thing to do is like, you know, keep others like, you know, but in a way, really prioritizing yourself. When I used to work at the thrift shop, and I used to sort through clothes and smell people's literal shit and piss and decide if I should buy it or not, buy it into the store or not, I would wake up every single day, no matter what it was, whatever time it told me to be at the job, I had to be at the job, right? Every single day at 9 a.m. I had to be at the job, for example, right? And then I thought to myself, these are for other, like, I'm working for other people. Like, my money, my time is money. People are paying me for my time, right? The one thing we can't get back, the most precious thing in the world is time. Makes sense why all of these higher ups want to take it away from us, right? Because it's the only thing we have, right? But you're telling me I'm gonna wake up every single day at 9 a.m. and show up for people that don't give a shit about me, that talk shit about me behind my back, my coworkers, to go to this job that doesn't give a shit about me, that's underpaying me, also doesn't give a shit about me. I'm gonna show up every single day to this job, make sure I'm on time, because God forbid, if I'm 1 minute late, my key holders are gonna literally rip me a new one, even though we're all in the same grade in college. They're gonna rip me a new one because I didn't show up on time 1 minute late, right? I'm gonna show up every single day for these people, and I'm not gonna show up every single day for myself at the gym. I'm not gonna show up for myself at the grocery store to buy healthy, great food for myself and my body and my mind. I'm not gonna show up for myself. I'm not gonna read before I go to sleep. I can show up for these people that don't give a shit about me every single day, and I'm not gonna show up for myself. Hell no. I even did it to my college. I didn't give a shit. At one point, my class started at 9:20 a.m. So I made sure to wake up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym before class because I had to put me first. It's literally like a, like I literally felt, it was like a low-key, like that petty mindset, low-key let me be able to put myself higher in my priority list. Another thing I give a shit about is talking and teaching people what you know. This is a really big one for me. And again, like I was talking about purpose and your calling and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like this is my purpose and my calling because I sat here with no list and now I'm just blabbling on. I really do believe that my purpose in this life is to talk and to teach. And I think God showed me that at a very young age when all my report cards said, she talks too much, she talks too much, she talks too much. It wasn't a flaw. It was actually my gift. And now that I learned how to utilize it correctly, I can do it to help other people. And I think using and knowing what your purpose is and what you're good at, or even the small things that you learned, I think it's really crucial to go and try your best to teach other people because in that way, you're able to expand your own mind and other people's minds. And it's just a really great thing to do. Another thing I give a shit about is being surrounded by people that make you want to do better. This is a really, really good one because it makes a lot of people uncomfortable and it makes me uncomfortable, but that's how you grow, right? You literally have growing pains when you're in the middle of growing. What makes you think you won't have mental growing pains when you have to do the same thing mentally? Being the youngest in the room. Being the least experienced in the room. I would much rather be the least experienced, the youngest, the most naive in a room than be the smartest, the best spoken, and the most well-off in a room. 100%. Why? Because I can learn. I can learn. I can learn. The next thing I give a shit about is being curious. Being curious, curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity killed the loser. Okay? It killed the loser. Because let me tell you something. When you're curious, you learn so much. When you're curious, you get so much. And when you're curious, you meet so much. When you're curious and hungry to learn and just better yourself and just want to know why things work the way they do, why people work the way they do, why people say what they say, why they act the way they act, it really teaches you so much about humans and yourself. And like, it's just so beautiful to be curious. Like people who aren't curious really do scare me. People who are just, it is what it is. Yeah, but why would I do that? Like, why would I just do that? Like, there's no fun to that. Why would I go do this? Like, I just don't want to. Like, people like that really scare me, and I try to stay away from those people. And I know it sounds crazy, but some people just don't want to change. But I guess I'm gonna leave it here. I don't want to like do too much. Like, I don't want to do like go crazy. I think this is like a pretty hefty video already. But I know compared to my other video was probably a lot more funny and easier to watch. This was more like a heartwarming video, I guess. But I think it's really needed. I think some positivity is really needed. So there you guys go. Things I do give a shit about. And I think you should give a shit about them too. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Toodaloo.